VM Campos Comic Book Club. I'm your host, VM Campos. This is the series where I review a comic book, new or old, from my collection. So this week we are looking at Claws #1, or is this called Wolverine and the Black Cat? Claws #1, published by Marvel Comics in 2006 or so. I'll check that in a moment. Yes, 2006. So this is a Joseph Michael Linser comic, 1 of 3. I also have issue #2, of course, and then issue #3, and then there was a sequel published in 2011, Claws Volume 2, issue #1, issue #2, issue #3. We might review these later. And it's amazing Joseph Michael Linser art throughout, cover to cover. So that's what we're going to look at today. Starting with the cover. So, stark white background. Sometimes these are tough to get in pristine condition. You see mine's got a little bit of an imperfection there in the white. But the main part of the cover, the art, is we've got Black Cat and Wolverine. And we can really see what kind of a shrimp Wolverine is, because he's shorter than the Black Cat. She's crouching just a little bit, and then Wolverine is standing firm, and he is still shorter than the Black Cat. Plus, he's got some amazing back stuff happening back there. So, Black Cat, this is her era when she had little cat ears, and her mask was a little bit different. She had really cat-like eyes, or as how Joseph Michael Linser is depicting her. So, creative team we've got there: Jimmy Palmiotti, Justin Gray, Joe Linser, and Jason Keith. And that's our amazing cover. And we've got a parental advisory noted right there. And I wonder why the two reasons are that we've got that parental advisory. Yep, Wolverine's claws. Check them out. Those are pretty epic. All right, internal or interior art. It's Joseph Michael Linser art. And it's interesting because the interior art is a bit less not refined, but mannered in the drawing than the cover, because of course you have to create a huge amount of pages in order to publish the comic. And if it was 3 issues, you wouldn't be able to do the Linser art that you'd get on the cover interior wise. So I haven't seen this book in a little while. I've had it in my collection, and I've been meaning to review it recently. So this is also kind of a reaction. This is kind of a reaction as well, because I haven't really looked at the interiors in a while. Wolverine looks pretty amazing here. And yes, he's kind of short. So, Joseph Michael Linser. Let's see, how is the distribution done over here of work? We have Jason Keith, colorist, letterer, editor, written Jimmy Palmiotti and Jason Gray. Illustrator was Joseph Michael Linser. So all of the great jokes and innuendo and all of that is up to one part of the creative team, and then bringing it to life is part of another part. So Black Cat, as we saw there, was shenanigans-izing with Spider-Man for a moment, but then she's off to steal the gem. But wait a minute, the gem is actually a trap, and she gets captured by a rocket and sent off somewhere. This is the time when the first Civil War was happening. Those are the good old days, right? Maybe. And then we've got sort of an interior bit of stuff there to promote Heroes for Hire, where Black Cat was there as well, and then Punisher stuff. Okay, back to the main story. So, Wolverine is also being hijacked with poison gas, and he crashes at an island, but because he's got his healing factor, that huge explosion from the plane is no big deal. Now, what's going on there? Someone is going to hunt Wolverine and the Black Cat? Yes, Kraven, the hunter. Or is this one of the versions of Kraven? Like I said, I haven't read this one in a little while, and I wanted to kind of do also a reaction to it. And I am remembering how cheeky this comic book is, with all of its various actions. So Black Cat also has some cool claws at that moment in this part of the storyline. I kind of like Kraven's hair here. It feels of the time in a sort of a way, feels different but still classic. And I don't remember if this is what's the storyline and I mean what's the timeline or whatever that's happening, because the Kraven that I know had expired during his time in Kraven's Last Hunt back in the 80s, but of course he came back and his family and a whole bunch of interesting stuff. So yeah, all throughout, amazing Joseph Michael Linser art. And then here we have some fun stuff as well. What did you see? Pain to be continued. And as I said, I've got the whole series, but I'm only really going to look at the first issue. I don't want to have too many spoilers happening. So the first issue of Claws 1 of 3, when it was published by Marvel Knights. This was a limited series. Remember Marvel Knights? Is that something they're going to bring back again? Because they bring back everything all the time. And so, as I said, this is kind of a fun story plot where who would think about combining Black Cat and Wolverine to have adventures? You know, the consummate jewel thief and the consummate Canadian. And I think it's an interesting pairing because there's going to be a lot of fun and shenanigans throughout the book. And as I said right at the beginning, we've got some aspects of the comic that are definitely of the time, 2006. We've got a little bit of battling between Black Cat and Spider-Man. Did you remember that Black Cat could destroy Spider-Man's webs? Well, in this iteration, I suppose she can. And then this is one of those shots that we always dream about, but they're never in the comic until this one. So now you've got something to hunt down to add to your PC. This Black Cat page after page after page of Joseph Michael Linser art. And then this has got to be a meme right here. I'm going to take a photo of this, upload it to all the social platforms. This is going to be memed to the next millennium because that is a hilarious cover, image. And it's very surprising that the spider sense didn't work. As again, I'm not really looking at this book for the words. So it might be revealed why his spidey sense didn't quite alert him at that point, but he's perhaps distracted at the moment battling Black Cat. So Wolverine over at Customs is funny, and then his whole, of course, adamantium skeleton gets him into trouble at the TSA, and we saw there Black Cat is captured. So let's preview for a moment. We're not going to go through it because I don't want to do more spoilers. But then we've got the cover here. So after Black Cat and Wolverine are trapped in some island by Kraven the Hunter, seemingly, we then have more action going on. So compared to this first cover, I think Wolverine is looking kind of weird with that hair and the back. But then it is redeemed by this amazing action shot over here where they're all jumping through the flames. Someone pointed out when I shared this online recently, how can Wolverine's wrists twist that far, but he's got his claws popped and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. So don't think about it too hard, but now that you've seen it, maybe you can't unsee it. Instead, enjoy the other parts. Black Cat triumphantly jumping, and then the flames and such. Then the third issue, where's my third issue? There we go. My third issue is right here. I love these blue tones in the background, or green tones in the background. Wolverine and Black Cat in some dapper clothing. Very fun cover. He's not letting up his dour look, unfortunately, and she's got an amazing look. So the first Black Cat and Wolverine pairing, 2006, Joseph Michael Linser, non-stop amazing art. And then we go on to volume 2. Maybe I'll do on the next live broadcast, maybe I'll do a review of issue number 1 of volume 2. They are back somehow. This is in 2010, 2011. She's back to her a bit more of a classic outfit. What do you think about that? That kind of a mask and those ears and more of a cat eyes versus real eyes. And then her top fringe over there versus that. And then the plunging neckline. What do you think comparing the two types of costumes? The two Black Cat costumes separated from 2006 and 2010. And then we go on to issue number 2. We got more action going on. I forget who that guy is, but he's one of those Marvel characters that never really appears anywhere, but here he is resurrected on this issue. And I love her twin lasers. And then issue number 3, I believe that's Death's head in the background, and one more tender moment to kind of end also the first volume right there. So this is just a quick look at issue number 1 of Claws, written or drawn by Joseph Michael Linser. Amazing art, and then very cheeky interior art and plot. And tell me what you think there in the comments. Did you ever read this yourself? Did you know that Joseph Michael Linser created some amazing Black Cat artwork? Yep, so now you do. Get yourself a copy before they all skyrocket in the aftermarket after this video makes the prize rise to unheard of levels. So this has been VM Campos for the VM Campos Comic Book Club. Hope you enjoyed this live broadcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, and turn on the bell so that you can be alerted to the next time that I go live, because you never know when it'll happen. In the meantime, I'll see you next time.